What does it take to chase a dream across 14 countries? That's about 10,000 kilometers and across 3 time zones. For one woman, the answer is simple: drive. This is the story of Pelumi Nubi, a fearless traveler, a bold explorer, and the first woman to drive solo from London all the way to Lagos, Nigeria. And that's how I welcome you to this episode of the program. Let's go meet her. Let's go.
That was the hardest goodbye.
When Pelumi set off alone on a road trip from London to Lagos in a Peugeot small frame car, most people called it crazy. A young black woman driving thousands of miles across multiple countries, navigating unknown terrain, borders, language barriers, and even personal danger. It was a decision that defied logic and demanded grit. But for Pelumi, it wasn't about the road. It was about rewriting what was possible.
So crazy! This was going to crazy. We're doing this, guys. We're doing this, guys. It's good to be alive!
Such a joy to meet you finally.
Such a pleasure!
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Good to show you my Lagos. The one I am obsessed with. This city is so vibrant. You know, born here, continue to represent it as Lagos State Tourism Ambassador. It's just all about what you can see, the things you can do. You know, some people call it the concrete jungle. I feel like we have spaces like this right here in JJT Park. It's just somewhere that you can have picnics and you can have get-togethers and, you know, symbols like, you know, the Ayo.
Really beautiful.
It's one of the great, you know, festivals to experience right here in Lagos. And I just feel like people are coming for 30 December. Literally, the countdown has officially began.
Absolutely.
But it's also a place that enjoy all around sunshine, so it can be visited any time in the year. You know, you can see it right now. It's just so vibrant. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to continue to, you know, have this conversation with you, what I'm up to, what I've done, post London to Lagos, and all of that joyful things.
So speaking about what you've done,
yes,
perhaps you said today you're visiting a particular school.
I am.
Somewhere in Ikorodu.
I am going to Ikorodu. I'm going to visit.
Talk to us about that.
So I feel like, you know, after doing London to Lagos, I did not want it to end with that. I wanted to continue to inspire the next generation. And children are so smart, they're knowledgeable, but sometimes they're told that they cannot, you know, and that is the message that I push, that impossible mindset. It's possible. You can do it. You can go after it. So I am one that people have come to know as a role model for their kids. Parents tell me that all the time. Teachers tell me that. So when, you know, I was like, you know what, let's go inspire these kids. Let's tell them about the adventure, what is possible for them. Go and visit them. Show that, you know, someone that looks like them, that's come from the same places they've come from, can go on to do global things and represent them on a national stage. So I'm really excited for that. And, you know, I think the next phase of this is birthing Lumi. Lumi is the purple car that I used to drive from London to Lagos. She's becoming a children's character, actually. So we are turning her to animation, to books, to schools, like toolkits, whereby they're able to explore and enjoy the African culture, but also that messaging of bravery. You know, Lumi was a small car that everyone said she couldn't do such a drive from London to Lagos, and she did. So she is that symbol of bravery, courage, audacity, which are all the characteristics that we want to give to our, you know, the next generation. So that is where we are going to. We're going to inspire these kids. We're going to have a good time, and I'm really excited for it.
Let's go. Let's go.
so excited to meet the kids. I feel, the next stage after London to Lagos is just passing on that torch, really, inspiring the next generation that they too can go on big adventures, and the possibilities really are endless. So we get to visit.
We arrive at Diamondville School, a Montessori-based educational institution in the Korodu area of Lagos, known for its STEM-infused learning and character development.
Oh, thank you for having me. Such a pleasure.
Pelumi is here and takes a powerful moment to engage and inspire this group of young minds, encouraging them to dream big, believe in themselves, and see beyond their current circumstances.
Whatever you have in your hands,
Not too small.
do you feel like you're small?
No.
What are you?
Big.
You're big. You're what?
Big.
Are you excited?
From the Executive Director, Mrs. Morocco, Olarinwaju, your respected staff, the entire school will say a very big thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. See you soon.
Next, Pelumi takes me to meet the famous Lumi, the small Peugeot, the car now a monument at the J. Randall Center. She says her journey was raw, risky, and very real.
Lumi is one of a kind. One of a kind. I'm so glad she's housed here in J. Randall Museum. I get picture tags of people that come to visit her. So she's a monument forever. I travel quite a bit, so I love visiting museum, and never did I think something I own would be housed in a museum. So this is definitely a life achievement, I would say. Thank you. No, it's a pleasure.
How's it going?
I can't complain.
You're a South Londoner as well.
I am representing Croydon very, very proudly.
This is the vehicle you made your journey in.
This is Lumi.
But on the day of our visit, the Mayor of London also shows up to meet with Pelumi and Lumi. Driven by a deep desire to challenge stereotypes and prove that travel, bold, adventurous, independent travel, wasn't just for a privileged few, Pelumi put everything on the line.
Honestly, representation. I think especially in the overland space, you just didn't see people that look like me driving solo. Everyone kept saying, do you have a camera person there? Do you have a crew with you? And it's like me by myself, 10,000 kilometers, crossing 17 different countries.
What gave you the idea?
I wanted to connect two places I consider home. You know, I was born in Lagos, Nigeria, grew up in London, and each time I just kind of flew, did the six. I'm a Londoner and a Lagosian. I win both. I honestly the best of both worlds.
Where have you?
But yeah, it was just really that movement, and it's been honestly a joy. It's honestly a joy to just keep showing that the impossible can be done.
How long did it take?
It took 74 days.
And what was your prediction and your plan? How long did you think it was going to take?
I was expecting for 2 months, so 60 days.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit more. Not too bad, still do well.
Yeah.
And just, covering those miles and just, really, really pushing myself out there.
Are you able to say, besides the UK and Nigeria,
Yeah.
what your favourite country was?
Whew, there was quite a few. The West Africa really be out there.
She's a politician.
With the flavor, with the food, where do you start from? Mauritania surprised me. I didn't know what to expect in such a place, and it was just incredible. Senegal with the food, they always complain about this. It's always the fight of the jollof rice, about this. So yeah, it was really
I'm forward in the jollof.
Are you?
Yeah.
Have you tasted which ones?
Great.
Yeah, they're both great. You're gonna see
London's
that.
the best.
But yeah, so honestly, just the journey and just showing that is
And
possible out there.
you're driving back as well.
I am wanting to do that. I am wanting to complete the full
What
journey.
time of year did you drive?
It was in the beginning of the year, so avoiding the rainy season. So maybe next year we could do a drive back, really just pushing the message of mobility and people being able to move around.
Pelumi Nubi, the first woman to drive solo from London to Lagos. It's such an absolute delight to get the chance to talk to you. Thank you indeed for agreeing to speak with us here on Channel CV.
Thank you for having me. It's always a joy to share the journey, the beauty around it, the impact it's made, and I'm always excited to tell that story over and over again. I feel like I'll be old and grey and I'll tell my grandkids, oh, come on, let me tell you about London. So I feel it's just a legacy story that just keeps, it's just a joy to always share it over and over again.
It's the fact that you wear many hats. You're a storyteller, you're a travel content creator. You are now an ambassador for the Lagos State government in terms of tourism. Sometimes I also think that you're perhaps also a journalist. There's some part of you.
True, definitely a storyteller. Definitely a travel host too as well. I have my travel show, and just keep amplifying the journey, and beyond that, there's always something to always talk about. But you are right, I do wear quite a few hats, no doubt about that.
So let's perhaps get things started from the very start, the very beginning.
Yeah.
What kind of childhood did you have? Where did you grow up? Talk to us about your parents, siblings. What kind of childhood memories do you remember?
I had a fantastic childhood. I grew up in a home that really valued a child's naivety, freedom, excitement of creativity. A typical strict Nigerian home, don't get me wrong, it wasn't lawless, but they didn't trap me. I never heard from my mom or dad's tongue of you cannot do this thing because, I grew up with two older brothers, super protective of me, but also meant I had this tendency to almost be like a tomboy. I, went to the streets with them, had this very active childhood. I really leaned into the spirit of exploring. Both parents were working, so there was a lot of amps of free time in terms of after school curriculum. There was just really a lot of freedom. I think that's what defined it. So that was my first 10 years of my life. And then I relocated to the UK, and it was a cultural shift for me. I struggled because number one, I was, very dark complexion, still am. Kids can be mean, when you don't look like them and you don't sound like them. So I was actually bullied for my first, primary 6, year 6. And then, I found the library. And one thing I enjoyed about the library is that it doesn't judge you. Books don't judge you. And it made me see the world much bigger than these two places I know, which is London and Lagos at that point in time. I really realized that there's so much more, through books and things like that. And that would describe my childhood, very curious child. I remember actually asking my mom this quite recently, like, what was I like, growing up? And she's like, you just had your Pampers and you're just walking everywhere. Like there was no really agenda to the day. I just really, and I still do, lean into that curiosity and that, joy of being alive. I think some people forget that it's a privilege to be alive. And yeah, adventure has just been this big part of me, traveling, exploring, documenting it, and showing the world for them to know that it's very much accessible to them as well.
Just before you left the shores of Nigeria, so walk us through where you started your education here in Nigeria. Some people also debate as to where exactly in Nigeria is she from. She's from Lagos, she's from Ogun State.
So I was born in Lagos, so I can't be more Lagosian than I am. I was born right here in Lagos. Primary school, then did a bit of nursery, kindergarten, the whole shebang, and then primary school I went to Telesis in Alakuko, which was amazing, kind of like, the school, very much freedom. I don't know if it's still around, but that's where I went to. And then, the big relocation happened after that, which was primary 5, was when I relocated. And it was a journey. It was a journey of just knew who I was, my identity and what I believed in, and but I think that my parents did a really good job of just installing who I was. I think with bullying and just it can shake that a bit, but they really reminded me and where you're coming from, what's your belief system, and that was very powerful to have. Absolutely.
So was it, in terms of the movement, was it the entire family that moved from Lagos to London?
Yeah, so it was like a big migration. My dad stayed behind, but my mom and my two brothers, one of my other brothers, the other one was also migrated to somewhere else. But traveling has been a big part of our childhood. We used to always go to America to visit my cousins and stuff like that. So I think my parents really understood that cultural exchange and how much of beneficial it can be for children, just seeing the world bigger than this little bubble that they sometimes are in. And yeah, it's always been that kind of that. I would say that's the migration story, really.
So at what point would you perhaps describe as the turning point in your life? When did you realize that, look, this is what and who I was meant to be?
I think the 2020, there were signs, there were, nudge of me really loving travel. Background is in science, so I did an undergrad in biomedical science, finished with a first-class degree. So very much thought I was going to be a doctor or a scientist. That was kind of like my, what I thought it would be. And then went on to do a PhD in cancer research and human genetics. Again, really pushing that science background. But 2020 came and we had a global lockdown, which also meant my lab I was working with shut down. And at that point in time, I had to really ask myself, what do I really, really, really love? What's the impact I want to make in this one chance of life? I think sometimes we always think that we get a redo and we don't, It's this one take, And it was, I think, the first time I shut down what parents want, what friends want, what looks cool online, and I tuned into what does Pelumi want. And the answer was glaring. She wants to travel, she wants to explore, she wants to show other people that they can too as well, that the world is their oyster. And yeah, I think that was when I walked away from the program and I decided to start traveling more.
Walked away from the program?
Yeah, it was a program that unfortunately due to the pandemic was in closure. I could have restarted it, but that's again 3 years of my life, which I'm like, maybe not. But it was a brave decision. And I think we come from a society that has this belief system. I'm very big on starting what you finish, finish what you start. But there's also a time where you also have to evaluate is this really what serves me? Is this really, really what I want? And in that moment in time, with everything that's happened, the best thing was to go and just do what really called to me, which was travel.
How did your parents, maybe I should take that question again, how did your Nigerian parents take that?
Let's again preference that I have a very typical Nigerian parents.
Okay.
But I have a dad who is a professor, so he's a very logical thinker. He's very, bring an argument to me and let's talk this out. And one thing they had at that point in time, if we're talking, decision to drive from London to Lagos, for example, was a track record of me traveling to, at that point, over 70 countries. So this wasn't new. This wasn't a case of a whimsical thought. This was a 1 year of planning, which I showed them, who I've spoken to, the preparation that's gone into it. So as a logical person like that, you can't convince them if you do have that track record. My mom is very emotional. So it's very much, Ma, I will check on you. Don't worry. Every day I'll call you, really appealing to more of our motherly kind of concerns and things like that. But again, they had the track record of me traveling. They understood the effort and time. It wasn't a whimsical, I'm just going to do this without any proper preparation. So I think that's what really it took in terms of that planning. It's God as well. Let's put it out there. Really growing up from a family that, remember I mentioned that they never said I couldn't. So they weren't going to start now. They were always going to be, encouraging me and everything. So yeah, I think that was really the foundation of who I am and the parents' involvement. Yeah.
All right, so you have had the opportunity to travel around over 80 countries, you say?
90 now, actually.
90.
I'm on my 92nd country. And yeah, I plan to visit every single one of them. At some point in time, I wanted to be the youngest Black female to do such. Because of the pandemic and the restriction in travel, that definitely bit into time. And also the priority of country counting wasn't really the essence of it. It was more of, if this world, I always tell people, like, we are not trees. If we're meant to be stay put, we should have roots, you know? The fact we have feet and the desire to explore, I always try to, we should always be on the move. And it's not for everyone, I don't think always, but effort to explore should be a top priority.
But walk us through what that experience is, like having to travel around the world, more than 90 countries. You say you have been to different cultures, different way of life, food, and all of that. Walk us through that experience.
I would say traveling is one of the biggest teacher. You know, I've learned so much on the road than in school. You realize that people are more similar than different. You know, you realize that our desire to love and to be loved is very generic. And also it teaches you about, you know, how the world runs, you know. And it's it makes you open-minded. You really see things from a different perspective in terms of everything isn't black and white. There are very much a lot of gray zones of why people do what they do, the culture, the belief, the value they hold, and respecting that. You know, I think every time I go to a new space, I'm always, what is this place trying to teach me? You know, I'm always coming in as almost like a student of travel, like what? And it's just, there's so much lessons from the road. And the thing about traveling is that it's not just a one-off trip, you know, and that's why you can't put a price on it. When people ask me, like, how much does the travel cost? Like, you can't put a price on it because it's one that it keeps giving. It's a gift that keeps giving. You know, it opens opportunities for you, you meet new people, it expands your worldview, and the things you learn while on the road, you can take it back and use it in your own life and extrapolate it in that kind of way. So it's just that. I don't think I will ever stop traveling. You know, people always ask me, when will you settle down? When will you do this? It might change in the pacing, but right now I always tell people this is the best time for me. I don't have any accountability or responsibility. I think I do have accountability, but not responsibility to a certain individual, like children and stuff like that. So this feels like a great time.
No sort of pressure for parents?
No.
Especially in this part of the world.
No, you know, whispers, chatters over dinner, you know, is regular. But nothing that is like, you must, you know, you have to. Again, that very liberal way of thinking, I think, is quite important.
Well, walk us through the people that you perhaps consider as role models. Who are those who perhaps inspire or inspired you to take on this journey of having to travel on the road from London to Lagos and in your life generally?
I think that was it. I found it difficult to find someone doing this. You know, it was a case of the lack of representation. Yes, there's been, please don't get me wrong, Black women, you know, from opera to, the list is endless, of people who have just done things that's so audacious and out of their comfort zone. But within the overland space, you just didn't see anyone doing big adventure. It's almost like we were automatically disqualified. Society just thought women, Black women, solo. No, you cannot travel over 10,000 kilometers across 17 different countries by yourself. It's not heard of. Crossing multiple borders. What if you get kidnapped? What if this, you get killed? That is the narrative that is being pushed out. And I was like, no, you don't question a man if he does this. You don't question a couple if they do this, which is, you don't question someone that doesn't look like me when they do it. Why does my adventures, weigh less or something like that? So that was what I was trying to push. The representation, the fact that it's so important. And also like the fact that, London to Lagos was just a sample of what people have considered impossible. If they see me do it, can they then look back on their own life and say, what else do I think is impossible? And can I go over that and chase that thing? So yeah, it was more of the lack of representation. And I know how powerful representation is. I know looking at someone doing the same thing can really start something in you, that fire in you that, oh, I can do this thing. And that's what I hope to achieve.
How long did it take you to prepare for this?
A year. a solid year and maybe even a bit. You know, I think the idea popped into my head in 2020. There was a man who did the bike ride from London to Lagos, and his story also went quite global. And that got me down the rabbit hole of, has a woman done this before? And I couldn't find anyone that's done it solo. So that became my mission. And I was like, you know, and I spoke to him. I spoke to a few people that have done similar journeys too as well.
What did he say to you?
It was like, you're crazy in the best possible way. And I always tell people, crazy is such a great compliment, because it means you're doing something that people can't even fathom. They can't even wrap their head around. And you ahead are going to do that thing. Like, I think that's such a massive compliment. And that's one of my sayings. I tell people, if nobody has called you crazy this year, you're playing life too safe. You should be doing stuff that's so audacious, so crazy, so out of your comfort zone. So I called him up, and then he went with, yes, you absolutely can do it, you know, blah, blah, blah. Gave me tips on how to cross the borders and stuff like that. And that's one of my big advice. If you want to do stuff like this, speak to people, you know, they always say, people that know roads, people that have done it, people that have gone ahead of you, you know. The route we took was very different. He went through inland, I stuck to the coast, but at least he was able to guide me in some ways. And I spoke to about, I was on say about 5-6 interviews of people that have just even done just crossing from Europe to Morocco. You know, they know the process of that. What's the best borders? How do they feel about female? What is the best way to approach this? You know, doing in-depth research. What is the cultural norm? I'm going through a lot of places that they really don't consider a woman doing this to be normal. I remember getting through a border, not mention names, and the police officer was searching my car. I want to say 15 minutes. 15 solid minutes. And I was like, what are you looking for? Like, there's no contraband, it's just me. Like, where is the other person? Where's your husband? I heard all of it. And it was a case of, he literally couldn't process that I was alone in the car. He thought I was smuggling someone, maybe they didn't have the documents and they were the one driving and they were hiding the car. It's a small car, you've seen it. It's not a massive car. Like, you can really, but he kept saying, and he was moving the mattress and removing, I was like, there's no other person, it's only me. So really changing that stereotype, really questioning it. And like, do you see how limiting you're placing a whole gender of what they can and cannot do? And how do we move that focus away from this box you put us in? So yeah, that was really exciting to just have this level of preparation. Just, you know, you're driving long distance. I drove to the Sahara. I drove through, you know, some really extreme, harsh conditions where I needed supply of water. I had to make sure that there was enough petrol in the cars. I'll be pushing car. You know, there had to be so many preparation of kind of like, and you at one point even discover that it's not even a physical thing. It's mental too as well. You know, the trip got such a global and momentum over time that you start getting different people's narratives into it, and you know, they question it. Who is this foolish person that want to? I thought there were two, exactly. I thought they were body of water. She's lying to us. She just wants to collect your money. You will hear the most, but that's where you have to really dig in of what is my why, who are my true support system, which are my family, my close friends, and you know, some people online too as well. But yeah, it was a lot of learning, and that's why I told you about traveling. It just keeps teaching you so much about who you are as a person.
Was there ever a time you felt like quitting because it took you 74 days to get to Lagos from London? Well,
yeah.
In that period,
yeah.
Was there ever sometimes you felt like, look, I'm just going to put an end to this. I can't make it to Lagos?
There was quite a few, you know. People don't talk about the, you know, solitude, the fact that this is an expedition that usually a group of people do. You know, there's someone in charge of planning the road, cooking, logistics, healthcare. I was wearing a whole lot of hats and churning out content all by myself and churning out content that people were consuming almost in real time, which was just insane. It was unheard of. And I think that's what really connected with people, and that's what people really wanted to see in that moment in time of this, not fancy 4x4, this making use of exactly what I had and just being audacious and go after it. So you're doing these multiple things, which obviously takes a lot of your day, but in the night, as you're about to hit your head on the pillow, you're like, oh damn, I cannot debrief. I cannot just, obviously you can cope, but that human connection, which you're having in microdose as you're going through these places, but it's not continuous. It's not one person with you. The hellos are quick and the goodbyes are faster. And it's this constant engaging and this constant, oh my God, you're such an amazing person. I can't believe that I just met you, but I have to go because the journey ahead is like that. So loneliness was part of it. It was part of it. It got to a low point, I'll say, the car accident, you know? I think that was the moment where I had to really dig deep in terms of my faith, my belief system, why I was doing this. Because, you know, the offer were plentiful of, yo, we'll fly you right back. Like, we'll get you on the plane tomorrow. You know, you don't need to do this no more. Like, and you've done enough. You've done enough, but to me, it wasn't enough. It wasn't finishing. And that's why I told you about that, knowing when to continue and when to be like, okay, this is no longer serving me. At that point of time, it was more of questioning, this is why everybody don't do this thing. If it was gonna be easy, everyone would do it, you know? And it was really digging deep. You know when they say when you get to the rock bottom, there's nowhere else but high? It was me making really tough decisions, like, you know, fixing Lumi because there was offers of new car, renting a new car, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it was really those moments where obviously the support of my family, constantly praying, constantly sending kind words, you know, friends that like, we're with you, we're behind you, we have your backing. And then the person, me, deciding that, you know what, I want to continue this journey, I want to keep going. And yeah, I think that mental strength, I didn't know I had it up to that point. It was at that point, I think things sometimes need to happen to you in your life to really make you realize how much capacity you have. And I was shocked about the capacity I had, you know.
When you had this vision to take on this journey, did you think you were going to be this big?
Not idea. I had an inkling that it wasn't a normal journey. And I was doing things that I couldn't explain why I was doing them. But I just knew that, I don't know how to explain it. It was like, I knew this was gonna be big. I didn't know how big it was gonna be, but I knew it wasn't gonna be my normal trip. Like, I've done journeys, and I think that's what I tell people. Like, I've taken public transport across 10 African different countries. I've done things that cross multiple borders. I've traveled to over 90 countries. There were so many, which you could consider bigger title, things that I've done, but it wasn't that. It was just this. I did things like, you know, did like a promo video of London to Lagos happening. I've never done that for any of my other trips. I did like PR and stuff like that around it. I've never done that. So there were just things I didn't even know I was doing. And I think sometimes we have those blocks that we're building without realizing the vision. And it's just kind of like, just keep going until you get to that. And it resonated globally. I feel it wasn't just a race thing. It wasn't just a Nigerian story. It wasn't just a London story. It was people in remote places. Like, we know you, we've tuned in, we love this journey. We are literally in the backseat with you, exploring at the same time. So yeah, the globalness of it and the posts, you know, the fact I've then gone on to host my own travel show called One Weekend, which is just about when I was traveling within Africa. Well, that's one thing I realized as a continent. Number one, some people think Africa is a country. We need to change that narrative. You know, they're like, we're going to Africa. I'm like, where? Because you don't say that about Europe. You say go to Italy or France or Spain or something like that. Why are you making Africa one big place? And traveling through, going to places like, you know, Yamoussoukro with the biggest Basilica, the biggest church in Africa. And people are like, this is in Africa? I'm like, yeah, and more, you know. So really showing the other side, which a lot of media don't push out there, of what Africa is and what experiences you can have. So that's what 1 week encompasses. It's like, if you had 1 week, you know, you don't have to be like me, I have 74 days. If you have just 1 week in this particular destination, what would you do? And it's really going under the skin of the country, because I'm shown by locals. It's one of the best way to explore, you know. And that's why when I was driving, I was meeting locals. I was enjoying different delicacies and stuff like that. So we did it for Sierra Leone and the Gambia, and the response has been incredible, you know, from global audience saying, wow, this has become, you know, part of my bucket list suddenly, and locals saying, hey, I didn't know in Gambia, they're like, we have crocodiles, you know, in Sierra Leone, people are like, we have Banana Island, like, which is like a paradise island. So locals also rediscovering, and I would love to roll this out to all the 54 African countries as something that is well documented, really showing that cultural immersion, really showing that Africa is a place worthy of exploring. So yeah, it's been joy to do that, and many, many more other projects after.
As a continent, some say that it's more difficult for us to travel from one country to the other.
I'll give you an example.
Give us examples. What was you? Last week?
This was just last week. I posted all the African countries I've been to, and I've been to quite a few. I want to say I've been to almost 30 African countries. I've done a lot of the East.
Well, that's more than half of it.
More than half, which I'm really proud of, which, because at one point I visited all of Europe. I was like, why am I not visiting my own continent? And there are really strong reasons why people don't visit, because number one, the cost. Why do I have to leave? I'm going from one country to other. I have to leave the continent to connect and then come back. That makes no sense. So in the list of all the African countries that I had, someone's like, oh, you have never been to Cameroon. You know how close Cameroon is to Nigeria, right? We share borders. So I was like, let me go search. Oh, I'm in Lagos. Let me go to Cameroon. Sharp, sharp. Ticket price, £600. 600 British sterling pounds. And it's not a direct journey. From Lagos, I have to go to Ivory Coast, then go to somewhere else, then go to Abuja, then connect to Cameroon. I'm like, who does this? So mobility and the freedom of movement is something that I am very big on. That's the next conversation in terms of what exactly are the border situation. I struggled with the African borders, in terms of is our ECOWAS really working? The freedom of movement of trade that we keep pushing for. What is the stand of it? Why is it so difficult? Why is there so much corruption? Why are things not being in place? People, officers feeling like they are the gods of these places because they have no accountability. Now there are clips of people secretly recording and they're being mindful of that. But if anything, they're mindful of the camera rather than doing the right thing. Yeah. So really there's a bigger conversation of migration and the freedom of movement of people within the continent. We don't know each other because it's so hard to go from one place to the other. The cost of it, how easy, how much questioning, is it safe? There's just a layering of things that stop us from traveling so freely, which shouldn't be the case. It really shouldn't.
And as a people, when you look at our leadership in terms of here in Nigeria and the continent, you have traveled the world. I wonder what perhaps your concerns are.
In what sense?
In terms of leadership.
In terms of leadership, I feel it could be heavily skewed towards them in terms of what people expect from them. If we don't demand it, I don't think we'll ever get it. I feel like there've been a lot of bigger push from the people demanding. We have the Kenyans, how much they've really pushed their leaders of we will not take this anymore. I think until the society, the citizens of that place say, look, we're not accepting this, I don't think anything much will change. But also realizing that we have our own, responsibilities. We have to, the problem doesn't just lie on one side. That's why I say it's heavily skewed. I feel we need to also look at ourselves and how we behave and the things and how we represent ourselves in certain places. Is that how we want our country to be reflected? So leadership has a role, please don't get me wrong, but also the people have, if not a bigger role, because there's more of us and we can do more as just us doing the right thing, I feel.
So what's next for Pelumi? You have had to travel from London to Lagos. Let's check in with that bucket list of yours now and say, what's the crazy thing you have in there?
From London to Lagos, I absolutely want to make it a film. I feel, sitting down, there's footage online and there's footage on my YouTube, but in the evening, the family come together, you have a popcorn, and you really get to hear it as a one body of work. I feel like London to Lagos didn't end when I arrived in Lagos. If anything, it started. I have an email from a lady that is 70 years old, and she's like, Pelumi, I'm 70 years old. I've just watched you do London to Lagos, and from this day, I start to leave. Because so long I was told I couldn't do so many things. But now I have that representation we spoke about to keep going. You have this impact of life that I get some feedback and I've got flooded of feedback, but people that never, or maybe they meet me in person today, just like film your journey, And I think for this kind of journey, people think the impact is called 50 minutes of fame, but I feel like it's bigger. So I want to document that. I want that to be even long after I'm gone. The way the car is there as a monument right here in the museum. can also outlive me, of a legacy work. I feel like I'm really leaning to that legacy work of impact, of women, of the girl's child, of seeing what is possible with the right mindset. You know, one of my biggest tagline is the magic is in the doing. You know, I feel like sometimes we move through life and we think about doing something, we wish we could do something, we imagine doing things, but until you actually take that first, a lot of time petrifying, terrifying step, you just don't know what's on the other side. And that's where I tell people, just start. You know, I cannot say just do it because Nike will come after me. But I say begin without seeing the full road ahead. You know, I tell people, if I was to think about London to Lagos as a whole entity, I probably wouldn't do it. I thought about the first mile, the next stretch of road ahead, the next border. And if you take those more gradual steps, I feel it really comes to life at the end of it. And you never know how it turns out, but you must try.
Yeah.
I think that's the fundamental message. Yeah.
So if you had a chance, will you do it again?
Absolutely, in a heartbeat. It's been the biggest adventure of my life, you know. It's one that allowed me to dig deep. It allowed me to discover what is possible. So yeah, in a different road trip, there's always new milestone to hit, you know, from the film I spoke about to a book I'm potentially working on, to just keep speaking. You know, speaking is one of my biggest. Storytelling is so powerful. People don't realize that when you hear a story or you see someone telling their own story, it's like, oh wow, I have a story too as well, and that keep amplifying. So yeah, I just want to keep doing this work. It's not a usual job description work. I always struggle to tell people what exactly I do, but if anything, I think my bio says it, I help women understand that they can do the impossible. You know, I think that summarizes it in that kind of way, because we live in a society that just keeps telling us we cannot and keeps showing that we are weak and we're not possible, but I want to change that and show that the impossible can be possible.
How easy is that to change the narrative, especially in those parts of the world?
I feel it's a gradual process. I feel as the youth are coming up with their own voices, I feel like they are seeing that, you know what, even if I don't have all the resources or I don't have the perfect setting, I can still make, you know, progress. And seeing a journey. I think a lot of people, they just see the destination, they just see this finished product, but showing the behind the scenes, showing the blueprint, the mindset, that's all of things I speak about on my page. It's just like, because people used to stop like, oh, you're so brave, how did you do it? And I'm like, I'm just brave, but it's not. You know, it's from the positive affirmation, it's from a strong faith, it's from realizing your why, it's from taking out time. As much as I'm involved in social media, I step out as well, because you need to hear yourself. You can get so constipated by content. You know, it's really these daily practices that has become this thing, you know, and you cannot take out the God factor too as well. To him, all glory, because I always tell people names are so powerful, and I think Yorubas give the best names, no offense to whoever tribe is watching. My full name is Pelumi. God is with me, you know. So people are like, oh, you're traveling solo. I'm like, baby girl, I'm not. You got the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit right here, you know. So the faith factor, I feel like, is such a big exercise. I never want to be like, it's my power, it's by me, it's my strength. No, it's not. It's not. I think the prayers of my grandmother, the prayers of my parents are what I'm seeing manifested. Because trust me, people have done more than this journey. They've done bigger expedition, but there was something about the timing, the luck, some people call it favor. I call it favor, definitely. It just couldn't be more perfect and more aligned. So yeah, I definitely want to put it out there.
It's such a fine place to have a conversation with you, Pelumi Nubi. Thank you so much for talking to us. And
joy. I could talk forever. It's such good conversation. Thank you for having me.
And we look forward to your movie, your books.
Yes, it's all coming.
Arriving in some countries, navigating road closures, and dealing with unexpected delays only added to the adventure. Pelumi faced breakdowns, both mechanical and emotional. At times, she slept in her car. At others, she questioned her own sanity. But she kept going, and the world noticed. On her arrival in Lagos, after 74 days on the road, she was welcomed not just as a daughter, but as a hero. Pelumi has become more than a traveler. She's a symbol of what it means to chase a dream that no one else can see. A reminder that courage doesn't come from being fearless, but from acting despite the fear.
Hello, my name is Pelumi Nubi. I'm a traveler, storyteller, and adventurer. I was the first woman to solo drive from London to Lagos, and I'm so excited to continue to share the message that you can do anything you put your heart to. If I had one thing to tell you, is that the magic is in the doing. Yes, you're gonna have people that are gonna doubt you, they're gonna question you, but as long as you have a vision and a mission and you have something that you're running towards, trust in yourself, trust in your goals, and go after it relentlessly. I'm so excited and I'm so joyful that I decided to go after that London to Lagos road trip and continue to spread the message of what is possible when you have a strong goal and a strong vision. So thank you so much for being part of my journey, and rest assured that I'm always cheering you on along on yours. Thank you again, and take care of yourself.
Well, Pelumi Nubi didn't just drive from London to Lagos. She drove a message home to the continent, represented by these flags, that courage, when filled by purpose, can cross just about any borders. And her episode does it for us on this edition of the program. Thank you indeed for watching. I am Kelly Egiga from Lagos, Nigeria. I will see you again next time. Bye now.
Give me a wide shot, long shot for your closing. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Bro!
Yo, we're filming.
Go.
Drive from London to Lagos.
That's about... Alright, let's go again.
It's okay.
But it's okay like this. Is it showing?
Fine.
Alright, so I think that...
We have that? That's a good one.
Pelumi, I have some fun questions for you.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. So, introvert or extrovert?
Ambivert. I literally toggle between both.
Okay.
I love people think I'm an extrovert because I'm always social, I'm out there, I'm on social media. But honestly, it takes me a while to recover as well. So definitely a lot of introversion as well. So ambivert is the perfect mix.
Music or movies?
Ooh, music. Music changed the world. I love good music.
What kind of music?
To be honest, I toggle from worship to Afro to classical to you name it. As long as it got like a vibe to it, I'm there.
Okay. SUVs or supercars?
Ooh.
I mean, for someone who loves to drive.
Oh, I'm a classic girl. Like, I love a classic car. And it's so funny because I don't drive a manual car. I'm always automatic. So, but I do love a supercar. Yeah. Yes.
Heels or sneakers?
A bit of both. Sneakers. I love my comfort. Sneakers if I have to choose.
In terms of events, indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit outdoor.
How do you describe yourself? A morning person or a night person?
I mean, whenever I need to be awake. Honestly, people call me 3 a.m. They're like, why are you up? You know, so yeah, a bit of everything.
I mean, I totally agree. We had to have some conversations ahead of this production.
Literally, you're like, oh,
at very strange times. Okay. 6 packs or pot belly?
6 packs. Health is wealth. Please take care of yourself.
Okay, and perhaps just 2 more questions. Live concerts or streaming online?
Live concerts. I love people. That communal singing together. You know, yeah, I love a good live concert.
We do not pray for another COVID-19 pandemic.
We don't. That was horrible.
For someone who loves to travel, I'm sure you've had some sort of meals from around the continent and the world. So restaurants, or in this part of the world, we say mama put.
Mama put, home cooked meal from the grandma's hands. Like, I love a good local delicacy. Like, you can just taste the authenticity. That's where you'll find me.
Okay, so I mean, which of those delicacies are you in love with? Which is your favorite?
That you can carry me and just kidnap me
and say,
with.
no, let's go there right now.
I'm alive with giving.
Hey!
Some abula. I literally had that yesterday with a friend. Abula is the way to my soul. Like, I just love the mixture, the concoction, the texture. That's how you take me.
All right, now I'm craving amala.
Let's go.